Bro, I know no one asked, but I'm gonna show them anyway. We're not gonna gatekeep. No, I'm gonna tell them everything. I'm gonna tell them everything. How's it going, you guys? It's Junior. So I'm gonna be sharing my solo photographer wedding backpack. I'm a wedding photographer, videographer, and also shoot corporate videos. But today, I'm gonna be showing you everything that I bring with me on a wedding day. I would say 90% of the time, I'm shooting weddings by myself. Because of my package structure and my client's budget, I'm a one-man band. I'm not afraid to take on a whole wedding day by myself with no second shooter. If anything, I kinda like it. It's a good time. Do I want a second photographer? Of course, I'll take it, get all the angles, but I always feel I can handle a wedding day by myself. I just thought I'd share with you guys what I bring for my wedding day. Let's get started. This is the Peter McKinnon Nomadic backpack, the OG, the big boy, all filled out. Not to the max, there is more space here in front, but I don't need to fill that up. I'm good with what I have. So we're gonna start light. We're gonna start with the front of the bag. I keep this compartment in 2 sections. So the main compartment has all of my batteries. I bring like 6 to 8 batteries, depending, including the ones in the body. The main compartment bag is where I keep my live batteries, and then when I open up the second compartment, it's where I keep the dead ones. So that's how I differentiate from my dead and my alive batteries. So we're gonna start with the front, which is the least interesting part. So I have a little passport media access thing that I have. I never use it, but I feel like it's cool to just have this so if my bag ever gets lost, they have all my information. We have extra batteries. So these are all my rechargeable extra batteries. For flash, I have like 8 of them. I usually never have to use them, but sometimes other photographers, videographers, or DJs ask for stuff, so I keep them on me at all times. I always recharge them. It is a USB power bank. This thing, I can charge my camera if it ever worst comes to worst, I have to charge my camera, charge my phone, and all my other batteries are dead. I never have to use this on photography days because my batteries last me, but you never know when you need a power bank or when you have a bridesmaid or a bride or anybody who just needs extra juice. Always keep extra juice on you no matter what. And then I have my prism. So I keep this in this little bag because I have been and will be cut by this thing. I always use these on the dance floor or when we're having a good time, when we just want to spice up the pictures, you know? In this bag right here, we have essentials like Band-Aids, lens wipes, and I have BOGO ties, just in case. We never know why we need it or when we need it, but I have some BOGO ties. So I've got 2 sides of a lens cap, the front and the back. I just keep it on my bag because you never know when you have like a weird setup and you want to switch out your lens or put a cap on your body. Sometimes, you don't know how your lens situation is going to be at, so I always keep these just in case I need to cover it. USB-C power bank. A little emergency kit includes pocket knife. Every time I go into a concert venue or an airport, I need to remember to take this out. We've got a lock for the bag. So sometimes if there's a location where I don't know where I'm gonna be at and then you leave my bag unattended, very rarely, but I will lock my bag. And the padlock is for the main compartment. A lot of the times I need tape. So this is gaffer's tape, but very little amount. I don't bring a lot with me because sometimes you need to tape stuff together. I just need a little bit. Sometimes I add more to this. That's it. This is very important. This is a toolkit, flathead, Allen keys. You never know when you're gonna need it. All these things I bring, I just have them in my bag at all times, no matter what kind of shoot I'm doing. You never know when you need it. Can't forget the air tag. This comes with me at all projects. This is the aperture light. This isn't the original bag it comes with. I just need it in this old bag because it's sleeker. The light itself. This bad boy is bright. I bring this out when I want to do just rings, usually at the end of the night, when I'm not doing my flat lay. I have a mirror. So I bring a mirror, I put the rings down, take a picture. Little tripod for the light just in case. All the attachments in the world just in case. And fairy lights for the ring picture. I use this kit at the end of the night when I want to take pictures of just the rings, or you never know when you just see an extra continuous light to hold up. Works out great. Side of the bag, we've got business cards. Stands out because I'm fancy. This thing right here is a popple. Anybody with a smartphone could just tap this on my wrist and get all my contact info. Let's get to the good part. Main compartment. This is how I have it set up. Let's go to the other side of the main compartment first. This is how I have this set up. We've got a bag right here. We'll show you what this is, and all these little knickknacks. Let's break down each thing one by one. I don't like to carry very heavy, so I keep my flat lay things like small, singular bag. I've got a ring box. We've got a cheesecloth. This is great for just putting it over the table. Any surface works great. I like the rough texture on purpose because it just gives it character. Too flat, feels a little boring. We've got 2 little plates for the rings or accessories. We've got a lot of little like clear things to put the invitations so they can float a little higher. Color, aesthetic, ribbons. So I have cream, greens, pinks. I haven't missed out on any colors on a wedding day. I think it covers all the colors. And then on purpose, I just rough put this in there. Remember, the more wrinkly, the more character because of #art. As you saw in my 2 main compartments, I have memory cards. These are my fresh memory cards, and this is, I usually have some space for some used memory cards, but I usually just go through 2 128s on a wedding day. I'm like more reserve shooting, quote unquote reserved. So got all the memory cards. I always have to have a second memory card holder because if I have another photographer with me, I put it in the right memory card and don't mix them up. So when I get home, I can just go in for editing. 2 things I always need, a quarter and a leveler. This is a round leveler because you'd never know when you need to level your camera. This is the best microfiber cloth I've ever used. MKBHD doesn't make them anymore, I think. And then we've got Prism FX one. This is great for like just big wipes, and this is like smaller wipes. And then we've got a little fan. This bad boy is powerful, let me tell you. It's great for getting stuff out of your lens from the body, makes it really quick and simple. That little blower thing is not very consistent, and this is just faster because I can just take care of more dust with one swoop. I also always like to carry around a little throwaway SD card holder because sometimes I need to give someone an SD card and I like to give it to them in a little plastic thing just to protect it. I just have it on me just in case. Let's get to the good part. So starting off with 2 A7R Mark V. They are great camera bodies. These things focus perfectly, 10 out of 10 on everything. I can't complain about them. They're great. So I always have an 85 on. To start off my day, I think of like, okay, am I doing flat lay? If I'm starting off the day with flat lay with like 8 times out of 10 I am, depending on what the schedule is like, I actually keep my macro lens on it first, and then I switch out to an 85 for the rest of the day. So the A7 Mark V, priceless, 10 out of 10. Could not complain about it. Focusing, lens options, and megapixels, mwah. Art. Before, I would use primes to start off the day. So I'd keep the Holy Trinity on me at all times, 35, 50, 1 on each hip, and then an 85 ready to go. Now, I don't bring my 35, 1.4 or 50, 1.4. I keep my 28 to 45, 1.8 all the way through. This lens is crispy. I love it to death. It's a chunky boy, but honestly, everyone complains about the size. This thing's fantastic. Like, I have 0 problems with it. If I can leave 2 lenses at home and just bring this one with me, perfect. This is a perfect beginning of the day setup. I don't know what situation I'm gonna be in, but I still want a lot of bokeh. With 1.8, it's perfect. I don't find myself missing the 1.4 because 1.4 is a little too shallow depth of field in certain situations. A 24 to 70. You might think this is redundant. How I work on my wedding day is I actually keep my 24 to 70, 2.8 on one hip, 70 to 200 on my other hip for ceremony, because this gives me more range. And when it comes to ceremony, depth of field isn't as important. I'd rather have the flexibility to capture more moments rather than have the creamiest depth of field you've ever seen. I'd rather have range and flexibility. And then in the beginning of the day, because I have a lot more control, I bring out the 28 to 45, 1.8, because I have more control of the situation. I can move a lot more. I can move people, I can move things, and I can walk up, I can walk away. So I have that flexibility, but I want more artsy pictures and lower light situations when I'm indoors. And now for the beginning of the day, I also keep my, like I said, my macro 105 2.8. I usually start off with this, my 28 for flat lay, and then I'm also on the other hip, the 105 to 2.8 for super close-up shots. Sometimes in situations where I even use this for like detailed makeup shots. It's not preferred way of doing it. If I have it on me and I'm far enough away, I get some cool shots with this. And how do I carry all this? Oh, stop looking at me while I'm changing, God. feel violated. How I start off my day, 28:45, I'm in control. I just want a lot of bokeh, a lot of artsy pictures, 28 to 45. And then I still have my 85 on me all times because 85 1.4, something's a little far away and I don't wanna be intrusive, I use this. I usually don't use the 85 a lot unless there's a lot of space. And then bridesmaids, groomsmen, this is still fantastic. I have that flexibility. And then when I wanna do 1.8, 1.8. Okay, next part of the wedding day. Ceremony is about to happen. What do I do? My 28 to 45 turns into 24 to 70. Why? I want that range. Bokeh isn't as important. I'd rather capture the moment. I take this out completely, bring out my 70-200. This is on standby because it's about to be used after ceremony. For this strap right here, I'd connect it in the middle for balance. It's ceremony time. 24 to 70, 2.8, 70-200. Got the full range. Bride's coming down, boom, boom. And then as she gets closer, my already on 24 to 70, ready to get the exchange. They do the exchange, I walk back, mostly rely on this, also get wides, get low. I love this camera because I can get super low, get flat. I can get as high as I want, full range. Okay, ceremony's over. What are we doing? If ceremony was over, I would actually do 85 and then 35, but now I can go artsy. Ceremony's over, my 24-70 turns into 28 to 45. Sometimes during ceremony, I just go right into family pictures and I switch out lenses after family pictures because 24 to 70 for family pictures is fantastic. 85 1.4 on. Okay, ceremony's over, family pictures are happening. I stick with the 28 to 45, kind of do it 2.0 instead of 1.8, up to 2.8 for family pictures. It depends how far I am. If it's a huge group, then we'll do 5.6 or something like that. And then the couple, my favorite part of the day, I keep them to myself. Again, 28 to 45. When I don't have control of the situation, I stick with primes. What used to be my 35 and 50, 28 to 45 now. And then 85, fantastic for my couple portraits. Because I have control of the situation, I can really, really have fun with this lens. I have full flexibility, full control. Okay, portrait sessions are done with the couple. Sadly, my favorite part of the day is over. What am I doing next? Even though it would be smart for me to have more light coming in through this lens, I actually don't. I like having more range. 24-70 comes on. I don't find myself needing as much of depth of field in reception because when it starts getting a little darker, I bring out the flashes. So we've got one flash for the 85. And as the great DJ Khaled said, another one for the 24-70. I've got a dome for this one and a more directional mag mod dome for this one. Both flashes always are angled a little bit. Now we're ready to rock. Bra, ga, ga, ch. Okay. For the formalities, 85 is fantastic for speeches. I don't like being very intrusive. So get a wide for everybody, and then I can get real close for the speaker and the couple's reaction. Best of both worlds. I'm stay prepared. With the formal dances, 85 for close-up emotional shots, and the full range for wide, full body, the works. Once all the formalities are done, bouquet DOS is done, everything's done, and usually one of my cameras is already out of memory. Then I just keep the 24-70 and then just do one camera for the rest of the night. Do swirling motions. I can get close, I can get wide. Most of the time when it comes to dancing, I just like taking pictures like this. I don't really get really posed because I feel like dance floors are chaotic and I wanna show off that chaos. And that's my solo photographer wedding day setup. You wanna see my wedding videographer setup? Check out the channel. See you guys.